The life cycle of the capybara wildlife documentary. At first light, the wetlands begin to stir. Mist rises from the water as life gathers along the shoreline. This is where survival starts, not with speed or strength, but with access to water. Among the grasses stands an unlikely giant. The capybara is the largest living rodent on Earth, weighing more than many predators expect from a prey animal. Its size defines its life, but it does not guarantee safety. The capybara's body is heavy and rounded, designed for long hours of grazing rather than pursuit. Coarse fur protects the skin, while mass helps retain heat and energy in open environments. The eyes, ears, and nostrils sit high on the head. Even when the body disappears beneath the surface, awareness remains. In these wetlands, seeing danger early can mean the difference between escape and loss. With a quiet movement, the capybara slips into the river. Water is not just a refuge, it is a second landscape. Here, threats move slower and survival odds improve. Capybaras rarely face the world alone. By moving together, each individual gains extra eyes and ears. In numbers, vulnerability is shared, and danger is detected sooner. This habitat is rich, but it is unforgiving. Large cats, reptiles, and birds of prey all depend on the same wetlands. Every moment above water carries risk. Even while feeding, the capybara never fully relaxes. Heads rise, ears turn. Stillness is broken only when safety is confirmed. The boundary between land and water shapes every decision. Here, grazing, resting, and escape routes overlap. This narrow zone is where the capybara's life unfolds. Slow, exposed, and surrounded by predators, this animal should not thrive. Yet it does. To understand how, we must follow its life from the very beginning. Life begins on land, close to water. Here, new capybara pups arrive already surrounded by the herd. From the first moment, survival is a shared effort. Unlike many mammals, capybara pups are born fully furred, with eyes open. Within hours, they can stand and move. This early readiness is essential in a world where danger is never far away. Mothers nurse their young in open areas, relying on the presence of the group for protection. Milk provides the energy needed for rapid growth in the first critical weeks. Birth takes place near the shoreline. Water remains the nearest escape route, even for the youngest members of the herd. Every choice is shaped by the need to flee quickly. Adults position themselves around the pups. The herd becomes a living barrier, watching in all directions. For newborns, safety comes not from hiding, but from being seen together. Within days, the pups begin to follow the group. They learn where to walk, when to stop, and when to enter the water. Movement itself becomes a lesson. Shallow water offers both fear and protection. Guided by adults, the pups begin to swim. This is the first step into the element that will define their survival. Within the first week, young capybaras start grazing on grass. Milk remains vital, but solid food introduces the rhythm of adult life. Eating, resting, and moving now follow the herd's schedule. Early life is the most dangerous stage. Small size and limited experience make pups vulnerable. Not every young capybara survives this period. Those that endure gain strength quickly. Protected by the group, they move steadily toward independence. Their next challenge will be learning how their own bodies keep them alive. As the young grow, their bodies begin to change rapidly. What looks slow and gentle is in fact highly specialized. Every feature is shaped by life between land and water. An adult capybara can reach a body length of more than 1 meter. At the shoulder, it stands roughly half a meter tall. This mass reduces heat loss and makes the animal harder to overpower. Most adults weigh between 35 and 65 kilograms. Such weight favors stamina over speed. The capybara is not built to outrun danger, but to endure it. The coat is coarse and sparse, ranging from reddish-brown on the back to yellow-brown underneath. This structure dries quickly after swimming. Hidden sweat glands help regulate temperature, a rare trait among rodents. The limbs appear short, but the feet are partially webbed. This allows efficient movement in water without sacrificing stability on land. Each step reflects a balance between swimming and grazing. The eyes, ears, and nostrils sit high on the skull. Even when submerged, the capybara can see and breathe. This simple arrangement greatly increases reaction time. Grass is tough and abrasive. To cope with this, the capybara's teeth grow continuously throughout life. Constant grazing keeps them worn to the correct length. Cellulose is difficult to break down. Capybaras rely on microbial fermentation and re-ingestion of partially digested food. This process extracts maximum energy from low-quality plants. As juveniles mature, these adaptations become fully functional. Swimming improves, feeding becomes more efficient. The body now matches the demands of the environment. With a capable body comes a new responsibility. Energy must be replaced daily through constant feeding. Hunger and thirst will soon dictate every movement. Survival is not only about escaping predators. For a capybara, it is also about constant energy intake. A large body demands food almost without pause. Capybaras are strict herbivores. Their diet consists mainly of grasses and aquatic plants found near water. Feeding occupies many hours of every day. Not all plants are equal. Capybaras choose specific grasses, ignoring others growing nearby. This selectivity helps maintain nutrition when resources change. During the wet season, grasses are abundant and soft. As the dry season arrives, food becomes tougher and less nutritious. The herd must adapt its feeding routes to survive. Water is more than a refuge. It provides access to aquatic vegetation and helps regulate body temperature. Without regular access to water, survival becomes impossible. Midday heat poses a serious threat to such a large animal. During the hottest hours, capybaras retreat into water or mud. Cooling becomes a priority over feeding. Activity follows a strict pattern. Feeding intensifies in the early morning and late afternoon. Rest fills the hottest part of the day. As darkness falls, grazing often continues. Even at rest, the herd remains alert. Predators do not follow the same schedule. Every feeding trip carries danger. Leaving water increases exposure, but hunger leaves no choice. Each decision balances nutrition against survival. As energy demands rise, the group tightens its coordination. Movement becomes deliberate and cautious. Social structure will soon play a greater role than ever before. Capybaras are among the most social mammals in the wetlands. Most live in stable groups of 10 to 20 individuals. Here, survival depends on cooperation, not solitude. Within the herd, roles emerge naturally. A small number of adult males, several adult females, and their young form the core. Each member contributes to the stability of the group. One dominant male often holds priority access to resources and mates. This position is maintained through posture, scent marking, and constant presence. Physical conflict is rare, but hierarchy is clear. Capybaras rely heavily on chemical signals. Scent glands on the snout and near the tail leave information behind. These invisible messages define territory, status, and identity. While some individuals feed, others watch. Alarm signals spread quickly through posture and sound. A threat detected by one becomes known to all. Large group size reduces individual risk. Predators struggle to isolate a single target. Confusion and collective movement improve the chance of escape. During dry periods, water becomes scarce. Multiple groups merge, forming gatherings of dozens or even hundreds. Temporary alliances replace strict territorial boundaries. Despite their size, capybaras show remarkable tolerance. Aggression within the group remains limited. Stability is maintained through avoidance rather than confrontation. Young are not guarded by a single mother alone. Females nurse and protect pups collectively. This shared care increases survival during the most vulnerable stage of life. As juveniles mature, social roles begin to shift. Scent, status, and timing now shape the next generation. The story moves toward reproduction and continuity. Reproduction does not happen at random. It follows seasonal patterns shaped by water, food, and safety. Timing is critical for the survival of the next generation. When females enter estrus, subtle changes appear. Scent cues shift, and nearby males respond immediately. Reproduction begins with communication rather than force. Several males may pursue the same female. Dominant individuals attempt to control access, but complete exclusivity is rare. In larger groups, opportunity is shared rather than owned. Capybara mating occurs almost exclusively in water. Here, the female maintains control. If she chooses to avoid a male, a single dive can end the interaction. This aquatic setting gives females a decisive advantage. Reproduction becomes selective rather than aggressive. Successful mating depends on timing, position, and consent. Once fertilized, development takes time. Gestation lasts approximately 130 to 150 days. During this period, the female remains fully integrated within the group. As birth approaches, movement slows slightly. Females remain close to water and familiar ground. Safety and proximity to the herd become priorities. Birth takes place on dry ground near the shoreline. Litters average around 4 young, though numbers can vary. Within hours, the mother rejoins the group. Newborns nurse not only from their own mother. Multiple females provide milk and protection. This communal care increases survival during early development. Within weeks, the young begin grazing alongside adults. Life continues without pause. But survival does not end with birth. It soon faces its greatest test. Life in the wetlands offers abundance, but it also attracts danger. Capybaras share their habitat with some of South America's most efficient predators. Every day begins under the shadow of risk. Along the water's edge, threats remain unseen. Large cats move silently through vegetation. Reptiles wait motionless beneath the surface. Despite their size, capybaras lack natural weapons. They cannot claw, bite, or defend aggressively. Survival depends on awareness and timing. A sudden movement breaks the calm. Heads lift, bodies tense. In an instant, the herd recognizes danger. There is no hesitation. The group surges toward the river, driven by instinct rather than thought. Water becomes the only safe direction. Once submerged, capybaras transform. They swim with speed and control, slipping away from land-based predators. Breathing pauses and silence becomes protection. Only eyes and nostrils remain above water. The body stays motionless. Predators search, but hesitation buys precious seconds. Survival is never guaranteed. Young, weak, or isolated individuals face the greatest risk. Loss is part of the balance that shapes the herd. When the threat passes, the group reforms. Movement slows, life resumes, but caution remains. Living in the open wetlands demands constant vigilance. Every adaptation, every social bond serves a single purpose: to endure long enough for life to continue. After danger passes, the wetlands settle once more. Water smooths its surface and movement slows. Life continues as it always has. Adults and young gather along the shoreline. The presence of multiple generations reflects stability. Survival is measured not by strength, but by continuity. Juveniles move with growing confidence. What once required guidance now becomes instinct. The knowledge of the herd is passed on through daily life. Capybaras shape their environment through constant grazing. Vegetation patterns shift, creating space for other species. Their presence helps maintain balance within the wetlands. In parts of South America, capybaras share space with people. They adapt to parks, farms, and managed wetlands. Few wild mammals adjust so calmly to human proximity. Unlike many large mammals, capybaras are not endangered. Their populations remain stable across much of their range. High reproductive rates support long-term survival. Hunting and habitat change still affect local populations. In some regions, capybaras are harvested for meat and leather. Elsewhere, protection of wetlands supports their continued success. The capybara thrives not through dominance, but flexibility. It adapts to water levels, seasons, and shifting landscapes. Resilience becomes its greatest strength. As young mature, the pattern begins again. Feeding, vigilance, reproduction, and risk repeat without pause. Life follows a rhythm older than memory. The capybara's story is not one of conquest. It is a story of coexistence, adaptation, and persistence. In the wetlands, balance is never fixed, only maintained.